My
Hi folks. I wanted to give you a little bit of feedback on your Stranger Than Fiction papers. I realize it took way too long to grade that, and I do apologize. Um, 5-year-olds, what are you going to do? I apologize that it took so long to grade them, but I do want to give some general feedback. I thought everybody had some good points. But as you are getting ready to, in the next couple of weeks, pick your own piece of art that you're going to write a critique on in the same style, I wanted to give some feedback to make sure everybody's on the right track for this final project or final paper, which is worth a good portion of your grade. So you've done the poem analysis, the song, and now the Stranger Than Fiction critique. And you're going to pick something to write a final paper on. It could be a movie you love, it could be your favorite book, a poem that you really like, a song, whatever, but you're going to pick one thing and write a similar critique on it. And I expect it to be more in-depth and more critical analysis than the things that you've done before, because we're getting a little more detailed every time. So, for the Stranger Than Fiction papers, just some general notes. One, you do need to make sure that you are using the words Apollonian and Dionysian so that I know which part of the critique you are doing at what point. Apollonian should be a lot longer than Dionysian. Apollonian is your intellectual objective analysis where you're looking at the structure, the theme, all of those sorts of things. And the Dionysian is what your emotional reactions were to it and why you think that was. Some people got that backwards. Some people thought Apollonian and Dionysian were about elements of the movie, like Harold Crick was an Apollonian character and Miss Pascal, Anna Pascal, was a Dionysian character. That's not what it means. Apollonian means you are doing an Apollonian analysis by objectively analyzing the piece of art. Most people were on track. Actually, more people were on track with that than anything I have seen so far for most semesters. So make sure you are saying, this is my Apollonian, this is my Dionysian, because I want to know that you know what the terms are and that you're using them properly. Dionysian people did fine with that as far as how you reacted to it, how you felt about it, whatever you liked it, didn't, what emotional reactions you had to it. That was, for the most part, really well done. Apollonian, we need to go much more in depth. Some people commented on a lot of things, but didn't really say what they thought they meant. They just said, this was in there, this was in there, this was in there. I'm looking for you to not just say, here's things I noticed, but say, here's what I noticed and here's why I think it was there and what it meant and what I took from it. I'm looking for you to critically analyze and get down to the meaning of things, not just do a plot summary or a character summary. Don't need that. I want you to look at things and say, like, one of the things that almost nobody commented at all were about the graphics. For the first part of the movie, you see when he looks at things, it breaks it down to the measurements, it writes out the numbers, it's doing the increments, it's showing you the very analytical, mathematical way he looks at the world. It's showing you how his brain works. And then as he starts to fall in love with her and get out of his head and start living his life, those graphics start to go away. And then at the end, when he makes his choice, they come back again for the last little bit as he's going back, getting dressed, going through the motions, going to the bus stop, all of that, the graphics come back again. So it's not just, I mean, almost nobody even mentioned them at all. Some people mentioned them but didn't say why they thought they were there. Apollonian critical analysis to say, I noticed this, all of these graphics, and here's what I thought they meant. And here's what it added to the movie. It's the sets, the costumes, the sets. What did they tell you? The sets in that movie very clearly tell you about the people who inhabit that particular space. The costumes, what did they tell you about the characters? The plot, why was it structured that way? All of those different things. The ending, did you like the ending or not? You know, my husband thinks that movie's brilliant until the last 5 minutes, and he absolutely hates the ending because he thinks that he should die to fulfill, you know, the destiny. Why do you think he did it? Did he do it to protect the little boy? Did he do it to help her create this amazing work of art? All of these kind of things. What are the themes? What themes in that movie relate to the themes that we're studying? Pretty much everything except for religion, I think, morality, happiness, love, death, all of those things. And granted, you know, a lot of that we hadn't gotten to before you wrote this paper, but you see my point. What do you think the message was that Mark Forster, the director, was trying to get across, or the screenwriter, or whatever? So you really need to dig deep into, lock the front door. Dig deep into it and break it down, and why you think why things were the way they were. Okay, the techniques used, the particular shots used, you know, things like, and these are things I noticed after watching this movie several times. So if you didn't notice this, it's not that big a deal. But like in the scene where he goes to the first psychiatrist, the one that works at the IRS, and he's all like wibbly wobbly, you need to take a vacay, the weird guy. The wall behind him is painted like cloud wallpaper. When he starts thinking about Anna, the clouds start to move behind his head, because it shows his head is in the clouds. He's dreaming, he's thinking about her. Something like the scene where the writer is out imagining car wrecks, and Queen Latifah's character has this giant yellow umbrella, and everything else is black and gray and dark and rainy, except for this one big bright pop of color. That's not an accident. It's not just like, oh, hey, we just happen to have a yellow umbrella. That's on purpose, because it shows that Queen Latifah is the one little happy, positive thing in her entire gloomy, dark, writery world. So these things are done for specific reasons, and what I'm looking for you to do with whatever you choose, whether it's a movie or a book or a poem or a dance piece or a song or whatever, is to get to the bottom of why you think the artist created it the way they did. Now, in a movie, clearly there's a lot more stuff to analyze, and I picked this movie in particular because it has the graphics, it has the interesting plot line and the narrator, it has these different stories that all connect together at the end. It has a lot of stuff to analyze, and for the most part, we just did not go far enough. Okay? So, as you're working on your final critique on whatever it is you choose, you got to go much deeper, dig harder, think about it harder. Not just what do you see, but why do you think it's there. Okay? I hope that helps. I would like sometime in the next week or so for you to just shoot me an email and say, I'm going to do my final project about this particular piece of art, because I just want to make sure you're on the right track. And I think that's all I want to say about that. We're almost done, folks. Got a couple more homeworks, a couple more discussions, one more quiz, and then paper and exam. So just hang in there. I know it's been, I don't know about you guys, but this has been a long and incredibly hectic semester. I mean, just insane. But it is drawing to a close. So just hang in there. Let me know if you need me, and let's finish up strong. All right. Have a good Sunday evening, guys.